because
fine.
I shout.
Well, you get excited.
You must just understand we are two people different, We are not the same. Totally different.
It's okay. Why is this thing blurry? Ah, there we go. Right, go live on Facebook. Oh, yes, you can. All right, let me try and position all my screens here. That one there. Have this one here and that one there. Great. I can see everything.
Is it live already?
Already live. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the 22nd episode of 7X Growth. This is not the official podcast yet.
I'm not saying anything, and then
We're alive.
People
Start recording. Recording has begun. Remember to record. All right, everybody good? Can we get this show on the road? The road on the show? Okay. You fine?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We'll see if somebody will join us today for the broadcast, the podcast. We're casting cast off restraint. I can't see the camera. Hi, camera. TikTok live. Good morning, TikTok. Welcome to South Africa. Oh, you can't hear this mic. You can only hear that mic. But thank you for joining us. All right. Let us begin the podcast. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Maybe you're in space and then this is, the sun is always shining. But thank you so much, listeners, for joining us today on the 22nd episode of 7X Growth Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about innovation. Now, there's something that we need to understand about innovation, and that is that without innovation, your business is at risk of becoming stale and irrelevant and dying a very slow, painful death. So on that note, good morning.
Good morning. Good
Business is so much fun.
Fish.
I'm 𝐁𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂, and with me in the studio is Christian Nyambui, my co-host as always for today. And he's going to be talking with me about innovation as we seek to explore what innovation is, how can we implement innovation in our businesses to help us to grow, and basically why without innovation your business most definitely will not succeed. Great. So let's start off by talking about what is innovation. I think there's a lot of misconception in the business world, well, just in the world in general, about what innovation is and what is the importance of innovation due to what it is. A lot of times people think, these two words of adaptability and innovation, even though they go hand in hand, I think a lot of people confuse the two with one another. Like, there's a difference between changing your business because you have to adapt, you have to keep up with the times, you have to use the latest technology, and on the other side, innovating, because innovation is something different from just changing the way we do things, even though definitely changing the way we do things is part of innovation.
What is innovation?
What is innovation? That's a very good question. We can unpack that question today. Innovation. Would you like to start?
No.
No, you need to tell us.
I'm asking you a question.
You're asking me a question. All right. So innovation has many different definitions, but innovation in itself starts with the desire to do something different, to do things differently or to change things. And most innovation, as we know, are born from the place of problem. Like there is a gap, there is a problem, there is something that is shorting in order to move forward. And so innovation is the creation of something, coming up with something new. This can be a physical new thing, it can be a new type of process, it can be a new system, it can be a new product, it can be a new way to sell products, right? But basically innovation speaks about newness, trying and putting in something new in order to solve an existing problem in a new way.
In a new way, yeah.
Yeah. So when I think about innovation, that is the first thing that comes to my mind is newness, you know, trying something new. And this is why I think that oftentimes we get confused with adapting and innovating, because adapting is just changing the way we do things. Now, part of adaptation can be innovation. But if we only adapt, that does not mean we are innovating. It doesn't mean we're introducing something new into the business or into the world. It might just mean that we're changing the way we do things. And just changing the way we do things is not necessarily innovation. But it can be good, it's not wrong, but in the sense of innovating, innovation is bringing brand new life, like a different taste, you know, like you have, like Coca-Cola loves to explore with these new tastes, you know, who remembers vanilla Coke? You know, that was amazing. Did you ever drink vanilla Coke? You didn't? Oh, you missed it.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, it was so good. I don't know, you can't find it anymore. They had it ran for a couple of years and then they stopped it. But that was innovative, you know, it's like something brand new. And then they had this cherry Coke thing and all kinds of flavors. So playing around with new things, new ideas, new ways to solve the problem, new paths to get to the destination, instead of driving a car, hey, let's let the car drive itself. You know, that's a good innovation. But just driving the latest model car is not innovation. And that in business sometimes, when we change our processes, when we change our technology just to keep up with, you know, the latest things, sometimes people think about that and they're like, oh, we're innovative, you know, we're such a innovative company, we're on the cutting edge of technology. and that is used a lot, but that sometimes it's used in the wrong way, as in people are just adapting, changing their systems, changing changing their tools, but they're not creating new tools. And that's a big difference between those two.
But that can be as well. There can be a little bit of confusion there when it comes to innovation, because most of the time we think innovate. For you to innovate, you have to come with something from Norway. But I can get two things from different places and then put them together and then make something new from that. That's innovation. So even when it comes to adaptability, for you to adapt in your business or in your way, in your processes, in your system, you can just take what is there in the market and then put them together, and then you come with something totally new. Yes, it's there outside, but people are not using it together. But you put it together and then use it as a new tool that is facilitating you to do your job. That's innovation. So yeah, there's a lot to say about innovation. Sometimes we think innovation is just technology side of it. Innovation is something that comes with what we see. Let's say technology, but innovation can be an ideology that you can come with a totally different concept of things, of ideology that can change the world, because what innovation does is it impact people. It impacts the way people do things or the way people think about things. And then that's what innovation does. You were talking about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola tried to innovate, but that didn't impact people. That didn't work. And they had to remove it in the market so that they can try something new. So it's very important for business or just you as a human being to try to test so many things, so that you can see if you can make something new. I remember one thing that Jeff Bezos said. I think I wrote it somewhere. This is where I write my things. Yeah, I saw it. I say, big winners pay for so many experiments. Big winners pay for so many experiments. Why are you trying so many experiments? Because we want to create something new. So big companies, when they want to come with something new, they will invest more money in that so that they can try until they come with something pure. But that doesn't mean that that's what they're coming with. It's something like it's innovation, or it's something new, really, really new.
Yeah.
But it can be just something from, you can observe the nature, you can observe the way the dog plays or what, and then you come with something from there, give you an idea, you put those things together, and then now you have something totally new, which is from what exists already. So that's also something to think about when it comes to innovation. Yeah,
that's great. I love the different points. I'm just writing down. I think I'm trying a new habit of taking notes while I'm listening and talking on the podcast. It's because sometimes I think about something and you mention something or somebody mentions something, and then I'm like, oh, that's great, and then we continue on and we forget. So that's great. But I love this. What you said to start off with, the innovation is not necessarily coming up with everything new, but it can be that you use what's already there and create something new out of the existing parts. For the most part, most of technology is really built upon the back of other technologies. Like there's very little new foundational technologies, like breakthrough technologies happening. Not breakthrough as in getting new things, but breakthrough as in starting something that has never been, there's nothing there yet, like the creation of fire, for example. That's like, there was nothing there was no such thing. Even in the corporate, like when you are working in a corporate environment, or when you're running your business, a good question can be to say, okay, what is there a better way for us to do the things that we are doing? What tools do we have, and can we put things together so that we have one tool for everything, or one process for everything, or like, can we make something new to improve the business, or can we take existing products and maybe we can create something new from them that was not done before, so that can become something that's differentiating the business from other businesses. Like, you're still selling the same product essentially, but it is something new because nobody else puts them together like that. That can be a great way. And there's a lot of companies that do that. They look at what is on the market. I think a lot of software companies do that. So, okay, we have this to-do list softwares, we have the calendar softwares, we have the note-taking softwares. What if we smash them all together, and then add a few extra things there?
Like WeChat did the same thing. Like there was like social medias like Twitter, Facebook, and all those social media. What they did is just to put them together, and they came out with one thing which have everything inside. And then that's just to say that innovation require you to think and perceive things differently. And you can get there only if you can learn to think outside of your box. Because most of the time we think inside the box. Inside the box means that about things that we know. Okay, this is what I know, and then that's all. This is true.
We think we know. Yeah.
Yes. So for you to get to innovate, to do something different, you have to think differently. You have to perceive things differently, and then to get out to try to see so different way of doing that things. That's why you see Jeff Bezos said, great winners pay for so many experiments. So trying. It's like, okay, let's get outside. Let's try to see the way we can do things differently. You can see it with Amazon. You see, he started with books. Even just for him to put books online, he had to think differently. Okay, there's shops, there's bookshops. Okay, how can we put these things now online so that we can reach more people? Because if you have a shop only on, let's say, on your town, you can sell only to people who are around your town. But if you can put your shop online, meaning that you can get people in the town, but also people in the country, but also you can reach now more destination, like, for example, other countries. So for you to get there, you have to think differently. That's why you see like Steve Jobs was promoting it's Nike, think different. Is it Steve Jobs or Nike? I think both. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it's Steve Jobs. Like, think differently, see things differently, and then that's way of thinking can take you to come with something different, something new from what exists already.
No, that's awesome. This is so important, because so oftentimes we get stuck in the how can I say this, we get stuck in the way of doing things. You know, this is the way we've done it for the last 20 years, 50 years, 10 years, 5 years, and this is what works, and there's no other way to do it. I found this a lot when I was working in corporate, that there were so many things that I stopped and I asked myself, why? Like, why are we doing this? Why is it done this way? And if you ask even the people in charge these questions, like, they don't know why. They just know this is how it's done, and this is the best way to do it. And if you don't do it this way, then it's unacceptable. And I many times I challenged, that type of thinking and say, okay, what if I come up with a new way to do this and it works? Will you accept this? And there were so many, because at the company that I was working at, they really drove innovation. Like, it was big, it was really a very important part of the company, especially during those days. And you actually got rated on innovation as well. Like, you had to innovate in order to score on your scorecard for certain things. And there were so many things that I put forward to say, why can't we do this? Or why don't you use this software instead? Or why don't we track things this way? And it was like, no, we can't do it that way. No, there's too much risk here. And things just got shut down one after the other. Only for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line, for them to come up with exactly the same things that I suggested 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, just in another format, from another company outside, bringing those things in. And I was like, come on, man.
That's the problem.
And now you pay for that.
That's the problem with, as we talking about, like, especially in the business, most of the time, the leadership in the company, they smash or stop people come with innovation just because they don't understand that thing. Just because they don't want to do their job. Because if someone come with something new, at least take the time to check or to think about it.
Give it a chance.
Yes. And that's why you see these big guys who are making like building $1 billion businesses. There are people who are willing to take the risk to try new things. And you're not, Steve Jobs, the example, he was not playing. Like, you have to be crazy, come with your craziest way of doing things, and I will try it. And then there's money put aside for things like that. You see? So if you are like that, like you are kind of a leader who stop people from coming with new idea, there's 2 or more consequences that you are going to suffer. Is later you are going to pay more to get the same thing that you could get in a simple way, even like freely. You pay more. Secondly, you are going to lose more money because of the long process that you are doing. Because this way, maybe we can bring AI inside. If there's new way of doing things with AI, if AI can facilitate your content creation or even like generating so many things or scheduling things, why don't you just try it, give it a try and see if this can be helpful? The risk, there's nothing. You adopting the new way of doing things or you not adopting it, in both way, you're still going to lose. There's still a risk there. Because if you try, you lose. At least you have the knowledge that you have tried something, or even just from you failing there, you can do another experiment, new other things. Because a failure can take you to a new way of doing things. Okay, I failed here. Okay, why if I move this? You see where innovation comes. You try something, you fail, you say, okay, if I move this code, maybe it's going to take me to give me something else. And then from there you go until you realize it's like something like amazing, and then we put it outside. Everyone is happy with it. But if you say, okay, no, this, just because you don't understand it, you are losing.
There's another big risk there, and it's that person takes their innovation, the employee working for you. You don't want to listen to them, so they go to another company. That company listens, implements it, and they make a lot of money from it. And you are like, because that has happened before many times where people were working in companies, but those companies would not listen to them. So they were like, okay, well, I'm going to start my own thing, or I'm going to go to our competition, our competitors, because they are keen to learn and to take up the opportunity, and there you go. So that's one of the big risks, is that you lose, like you were saying, the opportunity for that. You lose the opportunity to change, to do things better, but also your competitors will have an advantage over you.
On it.
And now if you try to implement that, they'll be like, oh, look, they're copying us.
Yeah, you see. So one of the things that advantage that innovation gives to you is for you to take a step ahead of your competition. We have to understand that the world of business, it's a world of competition. Yes, we say, we have to collaborate. Yes, we collaborate. It's there, but if you are selling the same product, I must come with a way of doing things that is totally different to yours, so that people can come to me, because we are trying to get from the same market. And innovation can be the way of to give you an advantage over your competitors. So a business that want to stay longer in the market, a business that need to grow, I have to have that sense of innovation, or always try to come with a new ways of doing things. And then sometimes innovation, we can just see it like, no, we have to innovate with AI, we have to innovate with softwares, but just the way you package, I think you said it, like the way you package your product, the way you put it in the box, the way you do your pricing, the way you like your marketing and your sales, you can come with something that's totally different, that's going to give you an advantage over your competition, or make people like you the most. Like Coca and Pepsi, it's almost the same thing, but each of them, they come with different way of doing things that make people to choose between them. And then Coca-Cola, they're in advantage because of their way of doing things, like especially the way of selling, a way of the marketing. You see, that they come with something that's always give them the advantage on the market.
Innovation can also, and I'll get into this a little bit more, but there's basically only 3 areas for businesses that you want to target for innovating, which will directly result in your business growing, more sales and so on, but we'll get to that now. But innovation can also create a new market, so if you, and this is perhaps one of the biggest reasons why companies that don't innovate go out of business, because companies that don't innovate stay in the same market for their entire life cycle. And they continue to try and sell to the same people, but there's something called market saturation, which is that your company can only be in the same market for X amount of time before you basically, people get tired of you, the new, there's always something new, or you've sold to all the market and there's no more market to sell to. If you have a product that's a once-off thing, that's a very big concern. This is why companies have innovated in a we can say in a dark way, where they create products that should be a once-off product, but they create it to break after some time so that you will come and buy another one. That's also innovation, even though that's really it's not an honest way of innovating if you could do it better. But there is the risk that when you choose not to innovate as a company, that eventually your market will be saturated. And then either with your products or your competitors' products, if you think about something like the cell phone market, like how do you, I think about that a lot, like certain markets that are so saturated and have such steep entry levels and very difficult to get to them. But you see these other brands of cell phones coming up, these days, like Honor and Xiaomi and all these, and you're like, how do they get in here somewhere? Somehow they innovated in some way in order, whether it was the way they approached the dealers or the sellers, the way that they structured deals, perhaps the way that they finance their products or create their products. And we'll get into those 3 categories now. But these things really, when a company does not innovate, it's really only a matter of time, because things go out of fashion, things change. We've spoken about this before. Look at I was talking to my kids about this in the car this morning, that when I was their age, these cassette tapes, they were still around, but they were busy going out of use. They were no longer really, you could still find them for a little bit and then they just disappeared. And then the other day I was in a shop that used to sell a lot of CDs, like music and stuff, but all their CD shelves have now become bookshelves. And you can still see the CD grid there. They just, now they stack books there. And I was thinking, wow, CDs are like gone. Like you can't find them in the shops really. Some shops, they still try very hard. And the same thing with VHS, the videotape.
Videotape.
And we know the story of what was that big VHS company in America, the DVD, the movie place, Blockbusters, and they refused to innovate. They were like, no, these things will be around forever. And then when live streaming started picking up, even when DVDs came out, they were in trouble. And then when live streaming came out, they were gone because they did not number one, they were not willing to adapt, which is not innovating. Just adapting, just start by adapting. But adaptation, the desire to adapt will lead us to innovate, because when I see that there is a problem and I need to change the way I do things, or I need to change the tools with which I do things, then it will lead me to innovate. But if I'm not willing to adapt, why would I even innovate? Like you mentioned it. If a business owner refuses to listen to new ideas, he's unwilling to adapt, so why would he innovate? Innovation starts with a desire for adaptation. That there I can observe that, like the three phases of innovation. There's observation, you mentioned it. I have to perceive things differently. I have to see that there is a gap. I have to realize there's a problem and look at the problem differently. So there's observation, then there is problem identification, which now I see that there is a problem here. There's a problem in the way we do things. Why don't we have wireless things? Like, that's a problem. Wires are always in the way. And I'm sure there's people trying to innovate with that. But I observe the problem, and then it leads me then to test different solutions. But if I have no hunger for change, no desire to adapt, then I will never get to the part where I can innovate.
It's just what you're saying. I'm just going to say it in other way. Innovation there's three things in innovation. There's knowledge. Because for you to be willing to innovate in something, in industry or whatever way you are, you have to have the knowledge of that industry, of that platform or that technology. You have to have the knowledge. So there is a knowledge in the innovation. And then after that, there's critical thinking. Because it's from thinking critically that you can come up with something new. Because in critical thinking, you are getting out of your box. You are trying to see the what is good, what is working, what is not working, or how can we make it simple. The way I think, I always look for a way I can do something like quickly and easier. That's how I think. So if something is complicated, I will look for a way I can make that thing work in a simple way of it. So there's critical thinking. You thinking about the new way of doing things. You're thinking about that system, that process, or that pricing. How can you price your product differently? How can you make your system be shorter or longer, or the way you want it to be? So, and then the third one is motivation. You cannot innovate if you are not motivated to do that, because it's difficult. It's difficult. It needs you to have that motivation so that you can go until you get to the results that you want. Because most of the time, as visionaries, we have the vision. We know, okay, I want Facebook. I want something that it's going to put everyone, it's going to connect everyone together. And also, okay, how can I do it? I have to do this. Let me, like example of Facebook, I connect my university, Now I want to connect my city. Now I want to connect my country. Okay, how can we now connect the world? So there's a motivation behind that. And then that motivation can be different. Your motivation can be money, or your motivation can be just trying to change the way things are done, or to change the world, as people say, you see. So there's knowledge, there's critical thinking, and there's motivation inside innovation. So that it's really, and then I think everyone can innovate. The problem is just we are just lazy to think, to critically think. It's difficult to think. That's why no one wants to think.
Especially in this world.
Yeah, that's why if we see the way we've been doing our business, it's we spend more time in thinking of ways of doing things differently. Okay, there's this. How can we do this differently? What if we do this and put it together? What if we change the way we put our camera? What if we change our lighting? You know, that's ways of doing things. We might end up with something totally different. That's everyone now is seeing us. Okay, oh, these people are innovative. Bringing something totally different to the podcast world or to the business world. So it's a state of mind that anyone can follow, anyone can be, so that we can come out of something that it's really totally different.
That's good. That's good. I like those 3 points: knowledge, critical thinking, and motivation. And as you were saying that, I was thinking that there are really only 2 things that motivate humankind, and it's either pain or pleasure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most of the time we wait for pain before we start to innovate. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to go bankrupt, or, you know, the system is no longer working, and then you have to innovate. And most of the time innovation comes from a place of pain. It's just there's a problem, but in a bad way. But there's also there's a handful of people in this world that innovate for the sake of pleasure. You know, there's no need for them to do that, but they just do it because they're trying to find better ways of doing things, or to have nicer things. If you think about, for example, things like the smartphones, or the cars, the car industry, or Elon Musk's SpaceX, you know, he wants to go to Mars. Like, there's no problem that we need to solve on Mars. but it's for the sake of exploration, you know, there's a pleasure behind that. And so I think that oftentimes it should be the forefront of innovation, should be, let's innovate this now so that we can grow faster and be able to achieve more things before we are forced to innovate. Because when you are forced to innovate, you don't have time on your side. Most of the time when you're forced to innovate because of pain, then that motivation is a bitter place. It's a difficult place, and you don't have a lot of time to innovate. But if you think ahead of time and you think about the pleasure of, if we can solve this solution, it's going to bring us so much more, income into the business, because 1, 2, and 3 will be done. Instead of saying, okay, we're going bankrupt, we need to innovate, otherwise we won't have any money. And so those 2 motivations are very important. I like that point that you made. I want to quickly, let's touch quickly on AI and innovation, and then we can talk about the 3 basic areas where businesses can focus on innovation and how they can use that to differentiate themselves. So AI is interesting because AI in itself, the designing or the creation of AI was innovation. But if we simply use AI, that's not innovating. That's just adapting, because that's the latest tool. However, AI can be used to innovate in your business. But just using it for the, like, let's use AI to generate our social media posts. That's not innovation. That's just adapting to the latest tool. But if we say, can we use AI in order to create a different kind of content? Can we use AI to do things that we couldn't do before? Now we're on the edge of innovation, where we're using a tool that was innovated. Yeah, too much innovation. My vocabulary needs innovation. But, you understand. So sometimes people, and we see these companies, these AI companies that pop up everywhere. And it's like, oh, we are an AI company. It's like, no, you're a company that uses AI. You're not an AI company. But there are very few companies that actually innovate in the space of AI because it's very expensive. You need a lot of smart people, a lot of resources for that. And so we have to be careful not to fall into that trap of saying, okay, Gerald and Christian said, I need to innovate in my business. Let's start using AI. Like, that's not innovating yet. It's good. You're on the right path. That's adapting. But innovating would be taking it a step further to say, how can we use this tool to create something new, to find shorter processes, to find ways that we can save time or money, or we can improve on our quality of things. And that's important because a lot of times we do the bare minimum, us as people, and so we can talk about innovation today, and then some of our listeners can say, okay, well, I need to start using AI as I want to innovate now.
It's not bad to use AI. You said
good,
it.
Yeah.
Use AI, adapt, and from AI, because one thing that I've noticed is sometimes you just need to start, as we're saying, the knowledge, have the tool, which is the AI, and from AI, have a vision of what way you want to take your company, to take your business. And then from that now, because, AI can help you to generate new idea. You learn the prompting, and then now you use the prompting to come out with something that is totally different.
Yeah.
So by there, AI is helping your business to innovate because you are cutting the time that you can go do research and go read and all the stuff. AI can cut your time, and then from AI you can come out of a new way, new processes, new systems, a new way of doing your business, because AI is there. And then the time that you could use to go to do the research, you can spend that time now in trying to change, trying to do things differently by asking the AI questions. So AI, adapt to AI, and then use AI to come with new processes of doing your business, to come with new systems, to come with new marketing strategies, to come with new sales strategies, and to come with even new product. So AI is there already. If you start to use AI, that's just you adapting to the new technology that is in the market. But you can start innovating in your business using AI by starting now to prompt the AI with new prompt, new idea, ask question to the AI, because it's cutting your cost. The money that you could hire a specialist to come to work with you for your business strategy, AI can be that specialist and then help you to come with a new way of doing your business, a new business strategy for your business that is going to set you apart of your competition. So AI can be a tool to use to innovate, but just adapting to the AI, just accepting AI is not innovation, because you are not the one who created that AI. It's someone else. But as we said it as well in the beginning, innovation doesn't have to come from nowhere. Innovation can come from some way. You take your AI from that company, plus your ideas, your prompt, your whatever that you have in you, because it's your vision that is going to create a new tool. So put your AI and your vision and what you want to achieve, your goals, and put them together. You'll see you come with something totally new that is going to be your innovative system, innovative software, something totally different, because ChatGPT can code, can give you code, or can just give you at least the basic or even the whole structure of whatever you're doing you want. So use it to innovate.
Yes. That's great. That's very important. And that, and there are people that use, like we said, they use AI and then they create new kinds of AI. Even though the foundation is the same, they change it so that it becomes a different kind of tool.
Yeah.
There's so many companies. Oh, we have got this. I saw yesterday this AI website where you can basically write anything. It specifically so you can choose the topics and the platforms that you want to write for. You give it some input on keywords and what is it you want to write about and so on, and then it will generate either this podcast script or a YouTube script or a book, an entire book, or it's like, so it's still ChatGPT in many ways, but they've added a lot of other tools into it, like the combined, and this is great. And then you get AIs that are specifically for that help you with coding. You get AI that is used for is specifically for image generation and those kind of things. So, and now we know that AI like ChatGPT, Google Bard, and those guys, they are busy even combining the image generation together with the language models. And at the same time now they are going into, what is it called? It's called I forgot the word now and I wish I knew it. It's basically multi-channel input. There's a specific word for that and I just forgot it now. But what they are currently working at is for you to be able to prompt the AI in many different ways, not just with text. So this is a big thing that's coming out this year, is they're working hard on, for example, you being able to take a picture and then to tell the AI, like you can communicate with the AI via video. Or audio, just talking to the AI, or drawing pictures and it will tell you what you are drawing, or you can ask it questions based upon that and give you like the inputs. They want to make it so that you can that's innovation, right? That's new ways of prompting the AI. And even Samsung has this the new kind of, they're working on this new AI assistant things as well. They have this new ring that's also now linked to AI to help you track your health and stats and give you recommendations. There's all these things that are being used to innovate with, but they're using AI to innovate with. And the amazing thing about AI is that it can, like you mentioned as well, it can lead us to innovation that we could never get to ourselves, because AI can think so much faster than process so much faster than us. And it has a knowledge of much. It's like you said, the first thing is knowledge, right? And the knowledge that AI has is vast. It's huge. It has like the internet for the most part. It has all the knowledge that's out there.
And then that knowledge you can get it here with your phone.
Yes.
Because before before we used to go to library, like to go to read books there, or we have to buy books.
Well, you have to go back before that. Before people could read, they had to rely on stories, right? Stories and the wise people that used to come to town and tell the stories, or teachers, you know, and then people started to read, and books print. When the printing press came out, that changed things again.
So now we have AI that can give us can answer any question that you have in your mind. And so that just depends in your motivation. What are you looking for? What do you want to achieve in this life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to innovate? What is your intention of your business? And then from that, you just go with your phone. You start with your laptop. You start to go process by process, asking questions, going there, having, and then even things like ChatGPT it's a conversation that you're having with AI. So you have that conversation, and that's going to depend on what you want. And that thing, this tool, AI can make you come with something that is totally different. You want me to tell you one of my crazy dream?
One of the many crazy
like AI is totally different. AI is totally like amazing, great that it can change a country. So imagine if our government can invest in AI so that they can be able to come with new ways of doing things in the country.
Find new solutions to problems.
And it's just crazy that I don't want problem, but it's sometimes I don't want problem. I don't want people to come to look for me, but it's crazy that people don't think in that way. And then we just take money, we throw it in things that doesn't really make sense, in things that doesn't profit the nation. So imagine that if you can put it there and
innovate the country,
and then bring people who can think, people who have ideas, and put them together so that those people, they can use a tool that is there to come with new ways of doing. There's a company in new ways of doing things. There's a company in America that it's in I think it's in military industry, something like that. They're making new technology using AI.
New weapons.
Yeah, using AI.
Yeah, imagine.
So with AI, any country, I don't know how they regulate all these things of making weapons, but with AI, any country can be able to make a weapon, a new one.
Well, they can make solutions to things. You know, how do we deal with things like unemployment, poverty, hunger? You know, how do we deal with failing businesses, or how do we train our leaders? Like, there's so much, like you said, that we can use AI for. So I want to quickly talk about in the last part here about just segmenting over into practical areas that people can innovate in their business. So there's basically 3 main areas that any company should focus on when they innovate. Anything else is really it can be great, but it's not going to benefit the business in the long run. Those 3 is, number 1, there is cost, number 2, quality, and number 3, time.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 aspects that make up any product and service. And that's the 3 questions that the client will always ask. How much is it going to cost me? How long is this going to take? And will I get the quality that you promised? Or how good is this product going to be? Those are the 3 main questions. Those are the 3 main things. If the quality is high, chances are it's going to take long and it's going to cost a lot. If the cost is low, chances are that it will probably be quick, but the quality is going to be low. If it takes very long, to make that thing, then the chances are the quality will be good. But so there's always one of those three legs that you have to kind of compromise. You can have all three, but that's going to be very expensive, take a long time to do, and the quality will be very good. But most clients, they don't want to pay a lot, or they don't want to wait. But most people want good quality. Sometimes the client will be like, just get it out there. So when you are innovating and, even using AI for this, you can use it. You want to focus on those three areas. How can we reduce cost for the product so that we can make more profit or charge less? How can we reduce the time that it takes to do something, whether it's administration, processes, just functioning things internally in the company, or the production of this product, or the delivery of the service? Is there quicker ways to do this? So that we can save time on our side, spend less resources, and also have the client happier, faster, or be able to do more work for more clients. And then the last one is, how can we increase the quality of our services or our products? So when let's say, for example, that you're running a consulting company, and you want to be able to solve problems and help people. And so you want to innovate on that edge where, how can I deliver better solutions, give better advice to my clients? Because if I give better advice, they will do better, and they will be willing to pay me more, or, I'll get more clients because of that. So those three areas, cost, quality, and time, those are the three main areas that you want to innovate on. Those are the areas that you have to focus on as a business to see, because if you tweaking those three is what will differentiate you from the competition. Or some companies, they want to do things cheap because they want to do it fast, and they charge little, but that's their strategy, right? But for example, our company, Oxano, we are more focused on quality, and we're not positioning ourselves as cheap because we don't want to be known as a cheap product company. We deliver high quality and at the fastest as we can, but we also charge for that because we know that we're delivering great value to the client. So for example, if we innovate, we're always thinking about how can we do this faster, or how can we increase the quality, or how can we increase the value that we are delivering for clients. So those three areas will be the main areas that you look at when you're innovating in the business. And then another time we can talk about innovation in a personal perspective, but growing 7x growth, how can you 7x growth? Focus on increasing those three, innovating those three areas, and that will produce a lot of growth in the company.
Those three, they're the one who are going to determine even your profit. Because what's happening with businesses most of the time is people just start businesses and they're not making profit. Why? Because the cost is high to produce the service or the product that they want to sell, and that can even discourage with the quality, because if you're not making profit, you will be discouraged, and then meaning that you are not going to put more effort to what you are doing. You see, so if you can cut the cost, I think Steve Jobs, Apple, they did it with computer. Remember before this computer that we have, even as to get to laptops, those things were huge. So the way they were thinking, okay, these things are huge and expensive. How can we make smaller ones and then cheap? Remember, Steve Jobs had this slogan of a computer in every house.
And people were laughing at him. Like, why would I ever have a computer in my house?
You see. So that's innovation. And then you create you create a small product, you cut the cost to make a big computer. Now you have a small one, but you sell it now to millions of people. Because the bigger those huge computers, only people have money and most of the time only companies, businesses that could afford it. But when you have a smaller one, you cut the cost in making the big one. But now even the market is now big because you can sell now to each person in the house. To, like in the house, the father can have a computer, the mother have a computer. If they have 5 kids, each kids have.
Oh, wow. And then there's cell phones as well,
you see,
which is another computer again.
You see, so now you are selling to 7 people in one house.
Because one company innovated.
You see, so you innovating to cut your cost or to increase the quality of the product that you're doing, or just to cut your time, because business can take your time. And great business people are people who still making money, still doing the business, but they still have the time. I think this morning we're talking about
Richard Branson.
Yeah, Branson.
Yeah.
It's like most billionaires love him. Not love him, but they want to have the life that he has. Why? Because he has time. How? He innovated in the way of doing things that gives him more time, but still running the business, not one business, but more businesses, a lot of businesses, but still have his time. He can go wherever he wants. He can do whatever he wants and still working, still doing things. So those are really, as a business, areas that you can focus on trying to buy your time back and cut the cost of production or of service, or just make things a little bit different so that you can differentiate yourself in the market. Yeah.
No, awesome. Well, this was a really fun conversation. I think we need to, we'll definitely talk about this again, and maybe we can even invite a guest to come and talk with us about innovation. Innovation is so broad, but yet it is also so important to companies to survive. And innovation it keeps your company youthful. It keeps your company fresh. And that's very important. That's how these big companies have stayed stayed with us for so long, because companies in general, most companies don't really live longer than 1 generation or 2 generations at the most. But we have these massive companies around the world that have been many generations because they have innovated and they've kept on the front end, introducing new things, trying new things, experimenting, and finding better ways and easier ways to do things. So that's really important for all of us. So if you have a company, be sure to make time for innovation, to put effort in there. Start with being willing to adapt, willing to change the way you do things, look differently at your problems, maybe gain better knowledge of things so that you can think about them differently, and innovate. Try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. Oftentimes, when you try new things, you'll discover new things accidentally.
Yeah.
Like most innovation, like I'm talking about things like oil, things like electricity. A lot of these things were invented, or nobody invents anything. It was discovered by accident. Right? They were trying to do something else, and then poof! Oh, what's this? I didn't. So innovation oftentimes create things that we did not, unintentional innovations. But if you're not innovating at all, nothing is going to come from that. So we're going to innovate. Until next time. Thank you for listening today. Please, if you're interested in learning more about the company or this podcast, you can visit our website. And thank you for listening. And please remember to share and to subscribe to our channels, to the podcast channel. We have it on audio, Spotify, Apple, everywhere where you find your podcasts, and also on YouTube and on Facebook. We are there as well as on LinkedIn. From my side, thank you so much. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, tickety tock tock tock.
Yeah.
Yeah.